The world's giant panda population is endangered largely because the males often prefer eating to mating. And so some researchers are using creative ways to encourage that loving feeling. For Clarissa Ward, setting the mood for pandas, that's a sign of time.
Hey, Gongzai.
Oh, to be a panda. 16 hours a day eating, 8 hours a day sleeping, almost no time moving. To be fat and clumsy, but worshipped and adored.
Yeah, he is perfect.
It truly seems an enviable existence. But once a year, the panda's life of leisure gets a little more complicated. When for a period of just 48 hours, the future of the species weighs heavily on every male panda's shoulders. It's a crucial time for conservationists. It's mating time. And that's where the problems begin. It seems most male pandas in captivity would rather lie around and chew bamboo than stand up and get busy.
If they don't like the female's personality or the females don't like the male's personality, they won't mate. That's the biggest reason why in captivity the mating difficult.
Now that might sound perfectly reasonable to you and me, but for scientists, it's a big problem. Zhang He is the director of the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. Over the last decade, he and his team have introduced a number of measures to try to cure the male panda of his woefully low libido.
The mating time is generally is not so long. Sometimes several minutes. The shortest may be 30 seconds.
And so far, one method has been particularly effective. That's right, turn down the lights and turn up the TV. It's time for Panda Porn. Pandas can now enjoy the sights and sounds of panda lovemaking in the privacy of their own cage.
Panda Porn, to improve interests of the males, but we sure the sound of the video will stimulate the male's interests.
Combine porn watching with so-called sexercises to strengthen the male's hind legs and the occasional menage a trois to get young male pandas curious about sex, and you have some impressive results. Zhang says more than 60% of his pandas are now capable of having sex on their own. That's up from just 25% 20 years ago.
So while the idea of panda pornography might not sound appealing to everyone, there can be no doubt that the results of these porn-inspired unions are totally adorable.
And sometimes pretty feisty, too.
Ow! Okay.
In recent years, record numbers of panda cubs have been born, a result also of improved artificial insemination methods. There are now 294 pandas in captivity. Zhang says that with 300, they will have the genetic diversity needed to ensure the survival of the species for another century.
And will you ever release them back into the wild? Is that the plan ultimately, or?
Part of our plan. Part of our plan.
With mating season around the corner, the mission for scientists is clear. Inspire the pandas to do a little bit less of this, and a little bit more of this. For Nightline, I'm Clarissa Ward, Chengdu, China.